If you've ever been chomping at the bit to get ready for live trading and get started, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. We are back. It is Thursday, and we've got some more trading to do. Great to see a whole bunch of people. 13 will be joining us shortly. Let's roll.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
All right, folks, we are back. Do not despair. Do not despair. We just had to take care of that interview first, but we're back here. We're going to do some trading. Let's break it down. I do want to ask Jay Harris, are you out there? If you are, I have a uranium watch list that I would be more than happy to share with you today. I saw that you asked earlier on pre-market prep, but I have that for you. So let me know if that's something that you want. Good morning to everybody else. Tons of people returning. Crimp Biscuit, love the handle. Jonathan, Market Sniper, Learn with Moses, Sideshow, Bax. Thinking about it, Direct, River, Austin, Wally, Grant, Ocha, Beach Bum Trading, Carmen as always. Mark, it's good to see you. There's Jay Harris. Good morning, Kayla. Okay, let's go ahead and get right into it. Morning, Jay Wild. Let's take a look at the SPY here. So we did end up getting our close under the trend line, and it looks like, depending on what happens today, we might have number two. So looking for the direction that we're in, assuming this direction holds, my next target on the downside here, 553, if you're looking to play the market here. So that's kind of what I see here on the SPY. Really not a whole lot else. Really not a whole lot of other levels or really anything else really kind of changed here with the SPY. If you folks are looking to trade this here today, I would love to hear about it. Looks like we tried to trade above 569 here in the pre-market and we were rejected. So I think we're going to go down. We'll see what happens at the opening print. I'd be looking for 553 over the next several days if we continue this trend. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some of the movers here this morning. So, Jay Harris, okay, I got that uranium watch list for you. I've seen you throw out the "Eat More Chicken" slogan a number of times here. Is there a hidden meaning, or are you just a massive Chick-fil-A fan and you want to promote Chick-fil-A's greatness to the world? I understand either, so I'm just wondering which one it is. All jokes aside, let's go ahead and take a look at the movers. Get ready for what is shaking here this morning. First on the list is going to be TOVX. This is Theriva Biologics. This is kind of a depressed low price stock here that is popping, and we do have a news catalyst here. So we did pop up towards 2. Looks like we were rejected at 2, came back in and tested and reclaimed the VWAP. We'll see if we can actually take this 2 out. Definitely an upside level to watch here. We'll also see if this can come back in and hold near its VWAP. Now let's take a look at the news here. Theriva Biologics announces outcome of data and safety monitoring committee review in phase 1b/2a clinical trial of one of its drugs, SYN004, in allogenic hematopoietic cell transplant recipients. The DSMC has recommended that this study proceed to enroll cohort 3. So I think they're going to probably need some more money for that. Let's take a look here. Not a whole lot excuse me. They do have 16.5, looking at the wrong sheet there. They do have 16.5 million of cash on the balance sheet. They burn about 3.5 to 4 to 5 million in cash a quarter. So they do have several quarters here. We'll see what happens with this next trial. Trials generally are expensive. So unless they have that already set up, they're likely going to need some more money here. Stock did pop here pretty good. We're up 50% here in the morning. So I think this one might be on deck. Webcoin, appreciate you. Recent reverse split. Beware of the dump. Awesome. And this is great. Let's actually take a look at that. Let's get the stats on those splits here. Looks like at the end of August, we had a 1 for 25 reverse split. And if we go back to the chart and we look at looks like it's kind of been going straight down. Jay Rice, has this been pulling a Mullen after its reverse split and continuing to trade down? Anyway, this would not be a swing trade or certainly not a long-term trade. This would be a day trade only. We'll see if we get some action here today. But that's what's going on with TOVX. Now, the next one here, What the heck happened here? This was a reverse split too. Has to be, and it was just not calculated. I'll come back to this one. Next one here, EVgo. And we have a lot of people in this chat that I know they trade it, but they might actually be holding it. Jonathan Cooper here, EVgo, 25% shorted interest, 13 days to cover. That's where we'll start here. Jonathan is absolutely right. Stock might be a short squeeze here. Did we have news on EVgo here this morning? Let's see. Oh, come on, news feed. Going through squeeze, baby. Okay, so it looks like here. Let me actually go to the overview tab here. All right. So today we have a whole bunch of news. EVgo receives conditional commitment for Department of Energy loan guarantee of up to $1.05 billion to accelerate the build out of its public fast charging across the U.S. So here is your news. This is absolutely what's driving it. Looks like offered 105 DEO loan to guarantee. So they're basically getting a $1+ billion loan from the Department of Energy to build out their products. Yeah, I can understand why the stock is ripping here, up 33%. The one thing, as far as a trade goes here, I would like this to pull back. I know we do have like the squeeze setup going, so maybe it just waves bye-bye to that and keeps going. That's not going to be the ideal trade for me. So I definitely want to see this pull, especially as we get extended away from the VWAP. Now, no promise that that's even going to happen. So we'll see here. But EVgo, for me, next spot or next step in this trade plan would be waiting for a pullback and see if we get that. Smoke Tuna says EV squeeze candidate, a lot of juice. Indeed. So I am not even sure if I'm going to get my. What do you think, Smoke Tuna? You think we get any type of pullback here? And furthermore, if we do get any type of pullback, are those pullbacks viable? That will be the next question. All right. Also, I almost can't even believe this one's on the list, but here we go. HKD is back. Raise your hand if you traded this one before. This was a absolute wild stock here. We noticed that this was trading up in the after hours yesterday while we were on happy hour. Almost came all the way back in, but is starting to trade back up here this morning. It's hovering above the VWAP. I don't think there's any news on this yet. No news on this. We talked about this being kind of like a scammy feeling stock the last time we traded this. I will probably stay away from this, but if you guys have any real juicy setups, I definitely want to hear about that. Jay Wild saying, I told 13 to go all in yesterday on HKD, LOL. Now, I don't think he did that. We'll check with him when he shows up here, but I really don't think that. I really don't think that he went all in on that. If in any case, if you guys make some money on that, let me know. You certainly deserve a register ring for that. Okay, next here on the list is going to be Wheeler. This is ticker WHLR. This is one that we have really been familiar with recently. This thing has given a number of really good trading opportunities. You guys absolutely killed this yesterday. I got a really small scalp in on this, but should have been with you folks early on it because the move here was huge. Looks like we popped again here in the pre-market. Now we've come back in, and my only worry today is it actually looks like we're using the VWAP here as resistance. So if we can get above this, maybe build above this and go higher, that would be great. We'll see if we can do that here on Wheeler. I don't have any fresh news on this. Looks like just straight momentum play. Next here on the list is going to be RZLV. Now, we've traded this one before. This is Rezolve AI. Rezolve AI share is trading higher after the company announced a partnership with Microsoft to drive global retail innovations with AI-powered commerce solutions. So nice. Got a nice little PR there. Stock did pop just shy of 11. So we've come back in here about 850. We're actually beneath the VWAP. Would love for this to hold, give some type of intraday support level here. So that maybe we can trade up to some of those levels. Whatever the VWAP is would be a level, depending on how far down we go. $9 might be a level. Looks like $9.50 might be a level, 10, and then obviously 11. So some pretty round numbers there. Okay. That's Rezolve AI. The other one that's on here is Yang. We've talked about this recently. Yin has really been on the scanner because the Chinese stocks have been so hot to the upside. Looks like we might be getting a regression to the mean here as Yang is the levered bear ETF. That's the one that's up here. The larger question that I would go from here is, do you think the run on Chinese stocks is over? Do you think, David Tepper talking about it and being in it gives it some more legs? What do you folks think on the China trade? Wouldn't necessarily trade these ETFs unless you're really kind of plugged into that. Okay. EVgo needs 100 million in volume to pass its float. It could go for a bigger squeeze. Okay. Awesome stuff there, Tuna. Let's see. What else did I miss here? Jared saying HKD as a pump and dump. Just watch close. I'm with you, man. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing here. EVgo sat at 480 all morning. So it traded right up here and it kind of consolidated. Now it's taking the next leg up. Frankly, Alex, let's have this come back into 480, maybe 488, 480. See if we can get some type of support there. That might actually give us a long-term, that might actually give us a short-term trade setup. Right, short-term trade setup. Okay, that's pretty much it for the movers here today. The non-penny stock movers, I suppose. We can go ahead and take a look at some of the other stocks that you folks want to take a look at. Let me see. What did I miss here? So here we go. Tesla charging has destroyed a Blink and ChargePoint. So we'll leave that as an aside here. We'll see what EVgo does. But that's actually a really good segue into Tesla, which did have some news here. Looks like the Cybertruck had a recall for its rear view camera. Now, here's the thing. It's being called a recall, but Tesla issues a software update to address this recall. So from what I understand from reading about this is that there's a rule across all automotive companies that if you have a rear view camera, it needs to display within 2 seconds of shifting into reverse for safety reasons. If it's longer than 2 seconds, it's out of spec and needs to be fixed, or in this case, recalled. From what I understand, the Tesla Cybertruck, some of them had about an 8-second delay until that camera started on. I think actually it's pretty cool if they can fix this with just a software update, but I'm not sure if that's the case. I'm not sure if you still have to take the truck in for any reason. So I don't think, do any of you have a Cybertruck? I can't remember. Can't remember if someone owns a Cybertruck. Anyway, if you do, and if you know more about this, please share it with the chat. That's kind of what's going on here on Tesla. Tesla down just over 1.5% here in the pre-market. One of the levels, if we have more downside here, one of the levels would be 242 to the downside. The other thing that I noticed here in the news, Bernstein reiterated an underperform and maintained its $120 price target. So that would be a 50% haircut from where we're at right now. We'll see which way that goes here on Tesla. Okay, what other stocks do you want to take a look at? Crimp Biscuits, was that a bounce of VWAP? No, yeah, I mean, it came back in towards VWAP, and it looks like it tried to bounce, didn't really print it, though. Smoke Tuna saying Wheeler might get a flush to 15 if volume comes in, it could go higher. So, okay, there you go on Wheeler. We'll see which direction we get here on Wheeler. Let me ask you, Smoke Tuna, if we did get that flush to 15 and it held there, would you be looking to add that? Would you be looking to maybe kind of trade that? Lynn, good to see you here this morning. Lynn mentioning Tesla range on orders. Your orders here, 240 to 250. Gotcha. So if we go back to that Tesla chart here, you can see that we're right here, smack dab in the middle at 245. Jay Harris wants to take a look at Palantir. Let's do it. Stock has been straight up. And here's the other thing. I don't know, for those of you that joined pre-market prep here this morning, it sure looks like Palantir has a bullish engulfing candle. Technically, it's not. The candle previous had a low 10 cents below the bottom of this candle, but still pretty engulfing. This stock looks to go higher. Let's see if we can break the high from Monday, September 23rd. That high is 38.19. This is on its way to 45, and our butterfly is going to cash. It's going to be awesome. Okay, 13, can I get a thumbs up that you're ready? Bang, he wastes no time. I can tell you this, 13, I know he's got some other obligations to handle here in the morning, but he is also chomping at the bit to get on the show. 13, good morning. How you doing, man?
Hello, doing all right. What's moving?
I literally just finished the movers, and your first question is what's moving. Okay.
No, I got some on my list here. Saw that Wheeler is going crazy again, so maybe there's some more trades to be happening in there. I saw in the pre-market, geez, as soon as the pre-market opened, 22.68. Didn't have that on my bingo card, but here we are. So
I do have a question for you though. Jay Wild told you to go all in HKD yesterday, which is higher here this morning. Did you take that advice?
Oh no, he asked if I was going in there. I said no, I'm not.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he said. Well, whatever. Good to know
there's only one person that makes demands of me, and she's not here.
That is well played. Okay. One thing I did want to do, let's see, we've got 5 minutes here. One thing that I did want to do real quick, Jay mentioned it here, uranium, there's no selling at all in those names. 13, I wasn't sure when you were going to arrive here, so you might actually be able to help with this. Jay Harris, if you're out there, I hope this is a good time for you. I didn't really ask, I'm just kind of doing it. You had asked earlier if we could have a watch list on uranium stocks. I have one here, and you're more than welcome to copy this down. By the way, as a side note, we will be deploying shareable watch lists to Pro in the future. So if you create a watch list, you want to share it with the group, or if we create a watch list here and you want me to share it with all of you, we will be able to do that. That's coming in the future. But for right now, here is the uranium watch list that I have. And as you can see, these are all green. So here you go, Jay Harris. I'm going to leave this on the screen. Let me know when you have all these tickers. 13, if you have any other tickers for uranium that I'm missing here, definitely let me know. And we'll go ahead and take a look at that. While you're reviewing that, let me go grab my tea real quick.
Okay. It doesn't look like there's really anything I would add off the top of my head, but that's a great list. What else are we looking at today, folks? I see that we have some other biotechs that are moving up. We were looking at TOVX. I think I saw y'all playing with earlier. So what's going on here with TOVX? Let's take a look. I know you guys already probably covered that with Ryan.
Which one?
TOVX.
TOVX we did, but I can bring it up again if you've got anything else on it.
No, I'm just kind of looking to see what this is all about. Okay, so they had phase 1B, 2A clinical trial data, it seems. Yeah,
they're looking to proceed to another cohort here for their study, okay. 13. And I think one of the things that I was taking a look at is going to be their cash position, 16.5 million, on the balance sheet, but cash flow, they burn anywhere between 3 and 5 million per quarter. So it does look like they have multiple quarters of runway here. But I know that those trials, they're expensive. So
they get more and more expensive, yeah.
They get more and more, and they're progressing down the line. So I'm unsure, frankly, if they're going to need to do a raise here, but just wanted to take a look at that.
They already have. They did it on the 27th of September. It looks like they filed a 2.5 million public equity offering. So raise some cash there. I imagine they'll do it again, with the point you just made that they don't have enough to keep on going all the way to the end of the line with the phase 3 and then bring it to market. But like we've seen with some of these, they could partner with somebody to help them with that. But for the time being, with the 1B, 2A, that's probably still a little bit early into the clinical trials for them to start looking for interested partners. Maybe.
Okay.
It's hard to say, but for the time being, it seems that they have enough cash. I wouldn't worry about a cash raise for the moment.
Okay, real quick, Lion Atlas says, that's my list. Hey, Lion, great minds think alike, boss. Glad to see that you have the same list in your portfolio or in your platform, excuse me. Jay Rice saying, you have little guy DNN on that list. Yeah, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with the little guy?
Crimp
what's
Biscuit,
wrong with the little guy?
Yeah. 1.3 Crimp Biscuit, 1.3 million.
There you go. Ura, that's on here, isn't it? Ooh.
Alex Anderson is saying we should take a look at SARO.
Sure.
That's about.
There is SAR. You want a daily chart here? Is this a new issue here? Interesting.
Looks like it, yeah.
Okay. And Jay Harris, you got that list. Okay, amazing. Glad we were able to take care of that. Let's see. Standard Aero is a provider of alternative services for fixed and rotary wing aircraft, gas turbine engines, and auxiliary power units for the commercial business and military aircraft markets.
Kind of like a thing behind the thing almost.
Yeah, so Price is an IPO at $24 a share. Current price $32. This is a new issue here. Good stuff, Alex. IPO yesterday. Okay. I don't obviously with this being a fresh IPO, I have no idea. I don't know about this company, but let's watch today. Let's see what we have here. We'll definitely check in on that. Definitely. All right. We are open, folks. Good luck. Stay green. Let's get some stuff done here today. Oh, by the way, before we start here, I do want to inform the group in my swing account yesterday, I opened up a new short here on Nike. So shorted Nike in the after hours, 83.21, looking for a move down towards 77.75 on this particular short.
And what sectors are we kind of looking at the most today? Was it uranium that we were looking at mostly, or is there some other things as well?
Yeah, I mean, all of those are up. Right. All of those uranium names are up. That entire watch list was green here. And that's been on the move that we've seen recently. CCJ is back above 50, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. Well, so far out of the gate,
not quite. Sorry, it was above 50 in the pre-market, but it dropped. My bad.
Direct details saying that RCAT is at 52-week high. Hasn't it been making 52-week highs? I feel like that thing's been taken off. Here we go with TOVX trying to push through this 193 wall of sell orders. Looks like it might be able to take that out. Let's just see what happens here. Not at the moment.
Coming off that level there.
That's the little breakover that I can see at this point in time. What's up?
I was just going to say 178, your intraday low there, so we can watch it against that. That's actually where the VWAP is, right? VWAP at 180. Ooh, big pull here. TOVX, big pull.
And then looks like Wheeler also pulling as well. See what happens down around 1450. That's an interesting spot there. We might even halt before we get there with the way this is moving down, but let's just wait and see what it does. HKD, since you were bringing it up, that one's kind of chopping around, trying to decide on if it wants to go higher or lower.
Who's trading HKD today?
I don't know. Not me yet.
No, I'm wondering if anyone's going to be in this. HKD.
Let's take a look at a daily chart for. So
I'm going to pass on it. I think we've got some other stuff to do here.
Yeah, I'm just double checking something on RCAT because there was that mention that they're at 52-week highs. Really? Oh, this is the wrong chart. Hold on.
ADTX.
Here we go. 52-week highs look like that was made on September 23rd. We're not at 52-week highs right now. 52-week high would be 348. So we're pretty close. We could break the 52-week high today, though. Yes, thinking about it. Yes. Well, you have 348. Yes, 348. Yep. TSM running? Well, they should be.
TSM, you want me to bring up here?
I'm just looking to see what this is. Let me
gotcha.
go to a smaller time frame here. It's moving nicely up out of the gate. I'm not sure. Well, let's see. Maybe it is kind of running a tiny bit, going from going up $1, almost $2 out of the gate here.
PLTR straight up out of the gate here. Not surprised to see that. TOVX. Okay, so we're coming back on. I actually just reclaimed VWAP here. TOVX. If this can push higher here, I think we have another chance at taking out this 195 area.
Oh wow, that was a nice reversal in Wheeler. 1525. That was the low.
TOVX so far really struggling with that VWAP. Careful on this one. Here's Wheeler.
Yeah, does it go positive here? That's the question.
Boom. Big spike there on volume as it's trading back up. Jay also mentioning NVIDIA spiking here. Now, we saw NVIDIA trading up in the after hours yesterday. We were actually live on happy hour when this was happening. This is off the backs of Jensen Huang's comment, quote, Blackwell demand is insane, end quote. So that's what's going on here with NVIDIA. Clearly, that's still driving higher here today.
Here we go with Wheeler in the 17s now, headed higher. We have 1975 as the earlier pre-market high. It was a little bit lower before that, but 1975 is where I'd be looking for the price to go if we can continue this upward momentum here. TSM, that's really moving now. Great mention.
EVgo knife. So this is kind of what we were waiting for a potential. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so we didn't hold VWAP here. So here we go on EVgo. See if we can actually reclaim VWAP and go higher. One thing to keep in mind here, we actually haven't seen this yet in TOVX. I know they're not the same, but we really, once it dropped beneath the VWAP, we really haven't seen a VWAP reclaim and move yet. So let's see if we get that here. EVgo, no position for me. That I kind of want this to shake out a little bit more. All this volume is turned into selling volume.
Christopher, you're the only one I've seen that trying to take a stab here at Wheeler. You're killing it, man. This thing's in the 18 handle now,
Yep.
Looking for 19. I think we're going to get that 1975, folks, if this continues. Looking pretty good.
Let's go, Chris. We're all rooting for you.
Maybe,
AG's asking minimum stock price. Do they trade stuff under, I think you mean $1? I generally don't. I filter out a lot of that stuff. My scanner here does not filter out penny stocks. You can see there's one on here. I generally don't, but the chat is quite active in some of those penny names. So there's plenty of traders here. TOVX, are we going? We reclaimed here. Let's see. 195 is your upside spot here. TOVX.
All right. Yeah,
let's pop that 195. 193, your intraday high print. Sorry, 13, I ran you.
No, it's okay. I'm just looking for that same break around 195. That's been the big R to get over here. Seemingly all morning. No closes above that. So we're looking for a close above 195.
Chris,
we're
going to give you a register ring early. Excellent start to the day here. Nice job. Let's see if TOVX can give us another winner. Chris, when you start the day with green profit like that, let's go, dude. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Nice call, by the way, live on your trade.
Yep. What are we thinking?
Hey, Jay Harris, this is what we want to hear. You're going to get sound effects. Sorry again, 13, but we got to shout out Jay Harris here. Making a killing. Let's go. Let's go. What I wanted to hear. Folks, you guys are already bringing the heat here this morning. Absolutely amazing. By the way, speaking of bringing the heat, let's get a wellness check on Lynn and Randy because their orders between 240 and 250, Tesla ripping out of the gate here to the high end of that range. Let's see if we take out 250 there. Lynn and Randy, I think you're having a good morning too, I would guess. AMD pushing higher. Good morning, Comp. It's great to see you, my man. Nice little push here out of the gate on AMD.
Getting mentioned with MLGO. We've traded this one before. I think this was over $1 though when we traded it. It's been coming down since then. Let's see. We got a pre-market high here of 48 cents. We're above VWAP. We're about to recapture the 65 EMA on the 5-minute. And then there's going to be a bunch of consolidation. So if we can get through, let's say 41, 42 cents, I think we'll end up testing those the pre-market high. But there's a lot of consolidation there between 38 and 42, it looks like.
How's that for your penny stock breakdown, AG? We got you here. We got all of the angles covered. Got them all covered, boss. Seahorse trading, I completely concur. Let's have a green day. Tom in BCAB. Tom, it's great to see you. I hope everything across the pond is well.
Oh, yeah. BCAB already with one test on VWAP this morning. Looking for another one. Had some really nice pre-market action, too. Got as high as, what, 268? Let's see that volume expand, recapture VWAP, and then we'll talk about that pre-market high.
Okie dokie.
TOVX wants to go lower.
I was going to say, Smoke Tuna's calling for TOVX lower. Let's see if we get that. I'll tell you what, I'll wait for that 195 break. I'll wait for that 195 break. If we get it, we'll see. If not, we'll wait this out and we'll see if Tuna has another ace call up his sleeve.
Yeah, and you can't really blame on that. Look at these wicks.
Look at the wicks, yeah. Here, yeah. Let me put it up on screen because you're right. This is a really good visual aid, if you will. Look at all of these top wicks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not to say 13. That's not to say that we can't break that.
Sure.
But so far, we've really kind of struggled with that.
Yeah, I think these wicks are, I guess we'll say, much more of a suggestion than a sign. But the suggestion is enough for me to be like, okay, maybe there's some caution I need to be taking here with this, since this is looking like it wants to roll over. More times than not, when you get like a lot of wicks like this, it's going to end up going lower. very seldomly does it turn around and just blast off, but it has happened.
Mark says, talk to me about EVgo. Okay, Mark, we got our dip. We went right to the VWAP. We actually dipped beneath it, reclaimed it. Notice how the last time we were taking a look at EVgo, the volume was complete selling volume. As soon as that turned around, so too did the action. Reclaim of that VWAP. Let's see if we can go to some of these highs. I've got, let's call it 535, the upside level there, 535.
Yeah, where else did we go with this one before? So this must be like this is a new 52-week high for EVgo. Because the last time it was up here was in August last year. And that high was 595. So that's if we get past 539, that's where I'd be looking for maybe a little bit of profit taking is just under 6.
By the way, DNN calls going off here. Big. I mean, it's a small price stock, so you should see a lot of the calls. Almost 4,000 calls in that call sweep. Ticker DNN. That was the 250 call sweep. Direct Details asking if Rivian is a buy. Let's consult that Direct Details. Let's consult the analysts, right? Here, by the way, here is your daily chart for Rivian. I know we were just kind of talking about that in pre-market prep. AB was talking about maybe dumpster dive trades. This is coming down towards the support level, down off that really big. This was the Volkswagen cash infusion, right? That really kind of drove this up towards 20. Now we've retraced that entire move on Rivian. Careful with this one. Let's go ahead and take a look at the calendar here. Let's see what the analysts say about this. Okay. So recently got a lot of overweight ratings here. You just got downgrade to equal weight, $13 price tag. I tell you what, this is under, the price here is under all of those recent price targets, whether they're negative or positive. We are at a support level. I'm not a huge Rivian fan, still losing, I think like $1 billion a quarter or something like that.
More than that.
Almost,
yep.
No, almost just under for the last quarter. But yeah, they were, you're right, 13. They were losing more than $1 billion a quarter. I'm not a huge fan of Rivian, but prove me wrong. We're down here at a support level. You tell me, what do you think? Analysts have price targets above this pretty much across the board.
What are they saying with their price targets?
Here, let me go back to the screen here. I can actually give it to you. Looks like they range here 13, anywhere between 13 and 20. Lots of 19s in there, 15, 16, and these are all some of the recent ones from this year. Actually, we've got one from July that is a $30 from Canaccord.
I'd say it could possibly squeeze. It's got 16.45% of the float shorted with over
Good
5
call.
days to cover.
Good call.
So the news catalysts, I think, will probably end up taking it up higher into the 10s, maybe into the very bottom of that range that you just mentioned. Can't really say for sure, but I would think that this thing, with the movement that we're seeing, it's going to be squeezy.
Okay, Smoke Tuna calling RZLV. This does look, maybe this is curling off that $8 level. We've got the VWAP here at 880, Smoke Tuna.
Here we go with TOVX. This thing is really coming in now.
Hey, did Tuna make another amazing call? Look at that, Tuna.
Yeah.
Tuna. Yep. Out here saving people. Out here saving people. Let's take a look at Palantir. Is it a rocket ship here today? Hey, there's that 38 level that we were looking for. Boom, boom, boom. New highs. Let's go. Next stop here, 40 and then 45.
All right, so going through some of the ones that we have been talking about. EVgo, still looking for that 539 break. BCAB, still looking to recapture VWAP. MLGO, that's taken off now. Had a big old move over VWAP and the 65 EMA. We're in that consolidation now that we were talking about earlier. So let's see what it does there. We might see a little bit of pull, or it might get some sideways action as it tries to chew its way through there. But once we get through 42, we should have a little bit more freedom to push up to the pre-market high of 48 cents.
Okay, awesome. TOVX support at 164 per Tuna. INDO looks like a number of chatters are taking a look at INDO here. Big pop on volume. Nice job there. See if this can take 4. Crow, I know you're calling for 4. We did take that yesterday, but we couldn't really hold above and build above on that, unfortunately.
Wheeler doesn't look like it's quite finished yet, even though the volume has come in. Still holding above VWAP. Let's see what we get with this next candle. I want to see it continue to hold VWAP. That would be a good sign that we still might be able to push up higher.
At the lows here, just kind of take, actually, let me go to my market overview tab here. We'll take a look together. All right, looks like NVIDIA, AMD, Accenture looks to be the big winners here today. Everything else looks to be kind of a sea of red here today.
Let's see what's going on with the Mag 7. Aside from NVIDIA, it seems that they're all down.
Yep, Microsoft down, Apple down. Tesla is down, although barely. That Tesla's actually trying to go red-green here, it looks like.
Same with Apple. Tesla and Apple are pretty much in that area of going red to green. Same thing with Microsoft. That one's actually the next one to go.
And you know what? It looks like Apple already tried to go red, green 13. It's kind of rejected at that level. A little bit beneath it, but close. Dow's still at the lows here.
All right. MLGO. We're getting close to that, getting through all that consolidation.
Direct Details calling Serve. That was a recent big mover. What are we looking like here on Serve? Okay, so this is not a whole lot of volume, but this is trading up here. Looks like yesterday's intraday high right around 810 might be the spot here, Direct Details. I'm going to call you DD because it's close to triple D, and Dennis is unreal. Clove, by the way, there's another one. Clove had a monster day yesterday, looking like we're going to start that again. The thing I liked about Clove's trading action yesterday is how this volume just continued to tick up. And when you see that, generally speaking, you will continue to see the price set new highs. Pretty sure this stock made more highs than anything else yesterday. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what we saw at the end of the day.
So when I look to the left on a daily chart for Clove, it looks like when we had that last run, we got up to 381.5. So
look at that.
We're almost there. And it's the question I would have right now is, do we break out of that level or do we get rejected there? So I'm not sure what's going to happen at that level, but we're almost to a pretty important resistance area that I would think if we get the volume to expand when we reach that area, which we're like a few cents away from, we get that expansion, we'll break through it.
It does also look like this resistance area goes all the way back to the end of March in 2022. So this would be a really nice level here if Clove can take that out. We'll keep that one on watch. Good stuff here. EV going. Jared, let's go, dude. And actually it did here. We did break out of that little area. New highs here on EVgo. Remember, Tuna told you this one has the juice. This could go. Tuna, you are literally in fuego so far this morning. I don't know if you've called anything incorrect yet, which is impressive. Very impressive.
Carmen has a question about ASTS. It's been going down quite a bit ever since we had that movement all the way up to $39 on the whole launching of the satellites. So I guess the question that she's looking for is, where's the bottom? Where do we slow down here? My first guess would be 21. And if we don't get it there, then 14.
I actually like 20. So I'll go with a slightly different level here. I like the round number in this case. Also looks like we used that round number as resistance and then very shortly after as support. We also consolidated around that number. So I would say 20 to 21 just to fold in 13's level there. And then you said 14, huh?
Yeah.
That one's sticking out like a sore thumb here. 14. Good stuff.
And
who's the Godfather, Jay? Jay is saying, Carmen, I've been adding slowly on any dips. The Godfather still likes it. Who is that? That's regarding ASTS. Dude,
all right.
Impressive. It's actually impressive, most impressive, not very impressive, but I love where the energy's at. Do love this quote and love that scene thinking about it. And I will channel my inner. Do I need to go grab Vader's lightsaber out of the closet and bust it out here? Do I need to do that? Because I will.
Only if you've got the mask.
I don't have the mask. I just have the lightsaber.
No, go ahead and channel your inner Sith, dude. Bust it out.
Bust it out. That's just that penny stock. ELAB consolidating sideways here. HKD, the wild one, looks like it did bounce off the VWAP there. TOVX, did we get? Hey, look at that. Smoke Tuna might have called another support level here for TOVX.
Yeah, it hasn't turned around yet, but it's definitely slowed down. It could start to turn around. Let's see. Let's wait and see.
Okay.
Looks like Lunar, LUNR, has been trying to get above 745 all morning. Just keeps it up. It might be a breakout here to 752.
The guest Z had on yesterday, he was early in RCAT and ASTS and a few others. Smart guy. Well, I'll tell you what, our chat is pretty smart because I'm pretty sure a lot of our chat is pretty early in RCAT as well. Well, why would your lightsaber be anywhere but right next to you?
You're not really into that home defense thing, are you?
No, I mean I am, and I'm wondering if I should even mention. I do have. Let's put it this way: I do have something to defend myself right next to me at all times.
That's good. That's great.
There you go, Fairchild. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. By the way, this TOVX here looked like this was going to try and take another leg lower. Buyers stepped in. I'm wondering if Smoke Tuna had a monster call on this support level here. TOVX.
Oh, let's get back up to VWAP. Let's
reclaim it.
Yeah, that's right underneath 180. Also with MLGO, we got a bit of a rejection at 41 and came back in. Now we're trying to hold VWAP.
Let me bring that up here. MLGO.
Now, if this turns around and tries to go back up there again, I think the next visit could end up taking out that 42 cent level that I was talking about earlier.
Okay. Clove still on its march towards 4. See if it prints 4 here. Sohei. Let me know if I pronounced that correct. I've never seen that name before. Sohei Beltran. Do you think AMC could go up? Well, I think any stock can go up, and unless it's Mullen, then it pretty much can only go down. JK. Just had to do that for Jay Rice because I know he appreciated. I'll be honest with you though. I am not an AMC fan here. I don't really like the way that this trades. If I'm just looking at the daily chart here, could it go up? Yeah, sure. I could see this trading. This looks to be in a range between $4 and $6 and has been there since May. So sure, we're at the bottom end of this range. I could see this trading up, in particular if this support level holds here. But I don't have any type of catalyst for you. I don't think that this is going to go to the moon and do all of that other stuff that you see floating around there on Twitter. What do you think on AMD 13?
AMD or AMC?
Excuse me, AMC, for heaven's sakes. Good catch, by the
way. Well, it's still losing millions of dollars every quarter.
Okay.
Balance sheet looks awful.
Okay.
You can do me a favor and go to calendar and then secondary offerings. And I think that might be the best illustration of why I would want to stay as far away from this thing as possible. This company, to me, I don't know what their plan for turnaround is, for turning around and making movie theaters, their movie theaters profitable again. But it seems like they're just in a constant state of making offerings, trying to raise cash, wheeling, dealing, trying to keep their stock on the exchange. I don't want to touch AMC at all.
Okay. Sorry, I hopefully we didn't give you the answer you weren't looking for. Hopefully that was helpful in some way.
And I love the movies.
And you know what? If there's anyone else out there that wants to take the other side of AMC, let's let our chatter know here.
There might be another side that I'm not even considering.
Look, I'll say this, even though I don't participate in the whole Reddit, short squeeze, GameStop, AMC, let's call them shenanigans. I don't want to criticize it, but even though I don't participate in any of that, I am not too bougie to not watch some of it. Like I will sometimes watch some of the discussions going back and forth on Twitter. I generally don't go to Reddit, so can't help you there. But I'm not opposed to kind of enjoying that. Sit back, have some popcorn. Wellness Matters mentioning Futu Holdings.
Morning, Mike.
Big move up here. This is Moomoo's parent company, isn't it? Wow. When we first started doing that thing was in the 40s. Huge move here on Futu. Another Chinese name, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Really good move here for Futu. Wow, look at this. Since mid-September, this thing is a double. Wow. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I know I don't really like Chinese stocks a whole lot, but good golly, what a move here on Futu.
Yeah, I'm being very, very careful about the whole China, surge that we're seeing here. I feel like it's trying to pick up pennies while a landslide is coming your way. That's just my feeling on it. I'm being very, very careful about it. I feel like the stimulus move could evaporate pretty quick.
It feels like there's a rug pull coming, right? That's why one of the reasons why when we start talking about some of these different like Chinese stocks and the Chinese stimulus, that's why my first question is, do you think this move has more legs? Because we've seen some of these pops and drops or rug pulls that really kind of put you in trouble. I want to avoid all of that. So
just don't. We have the Fed to contend with right now.
Yeah.
China's giving stimulus. Don't try to stand in the way of that, but I would just be careful because I feel like it's not as strong as it looks.
Smoke Tuna mentioning API here. Looks like this is a dip trying to go red green here. About to go red green API.
Yeah, I got you, Mike. I've been playing Yang a couple of times this week. Every time that the morning has been like really good for China, I kind of go into the Yang and just let the weakness just kind of pay me a little bit, and then I'm out already before the day is over. Look at MLGO. This thing is trying to come back now. So if we do get this movement back up into the 40 cent area, looking for that break over 42, that's going to take us up to 48.
Okay. Clove looks like it's about to print 4 because they're mentioning the Palantir rocket ship. 38.50 taken out now. Next stop 39. Palantir up 2 3/4%.
That's the one I like playing, Line Atlas. I hear you. Oh, actually, it's looking like it's doing not too well at the moment, but I'm not in it right now. I'll just wait. RSI is getting pretty low here on the 5-minute chart. Something I'm waiting for, though. Maybe if it goes under 2. I'm sorry, 3.
GSIW. That was a recent run. Ooh, that is popping here. Good call, Jonathan. Jonathan's got his eyes peeled this morning. This is right at the top end of the consolidation range from yesterday.
ASTS with a nice reversal, taking out all of the pre-market and after-hours action.
Yep, Jay was just mentioning that. OKLO, I know this has been kind of a hot stock recently. I've really struggled trading this, so I actually stayed away from this one. Great day yesterday. Looked like it was going to have another strong pre-market here today. Nothing but selling volume since we opened, trading right down here to where we traded sideways yesterday.
Yeah, good mention. Duo is looking like it's trying to come back. It seems like it tried to get back into the 4 handle this morning after it lost it all at the pre-market open. So if we do trade up, we're going to want to see it get beyond 398, which is the high it popped to around 8 o'clock. I think was that? No, that wasn't. I don't think that was when the jobless claims came out. Anyway, if we do get above that, then we're going to end up filling a gap into the 4 handle, into after hours sideways action. So that's something to watch for with DUO.
Cade Father mentioning that the Qs are pumping here. Indeed, Qs at the highs here. Looks like that's kind of being led by NVIDIA, isn't it? Apple did not yet go red-green, but it looks like it's trying. NVIDIA up 4% here today. And by the way, we'll take a look at that daily chart here in a little bit. Sydney Osborne, Meku Moneybags might possibly be the best nickname that we've doled out here on the show. It came from one of the viewers, Sydney. The Crow, Smoke Tuna, EKS, Carmen, The Beach, Little Amanda, and Becca. Oh, man. Sydney, love it. Love it. ISM data in 2 minutes. Jonathan Cooper, great heads up.
Oh, yes. Thank you, sir.
We have the best community in the world, don't we? By the way, Saro, that IPO from yesterday, kind of sideways here still.
The best, man.
The best. The best.
TOPX still hanging in that area where Smoke Tuna was mentioning. I think we need this some volume expansion to get back above VWAP. MACD still hasn't looked like it's really begun its curl, but it seems as though the histogram might be leveling out. So maybe we need a little bit more time with TOVX, but it's not breaking down quite yet.
I was going to pull a bigger chart up there, but I can't remember what it was. Important things I'll remember. SMCI been nice this morning, maybe getting out of its slump. Well, I'll tell you what, Big B's, it is absolutely trading with the rest of tech right now. I haven't traded. I haven't even really watched this enough to know how it trades post that split. Looks
Okay.
a little bit. Yeah.
Here we go with Lunar. I was mentioning earlier how we were looking for a close. Because it was trying to spike up to over the 200 EMA. I don't even know if I mentioned the 200 EMA on the 5-minute, but we were trying to get back above like 745. It looked like, or 740. One of those numbers I mentioned. We finally got a close above that level. Now we're starting to move up higher. 752 is the next resistance level I have.
We're right there too, 13.
Pretty close. Pretty close. That was one of the things that I was watching for, because we were not getting a close above that EMA. We finally did, and then it popped up. But looking good. What else is starting to come back up? Still looking for that movement in MLGO. EVGO looks like it wants to EVgo. 150. I'm sorry, 555 is the intraday high. We just tested that. There's some big old wall of sell orders at that area. Whale comes on in and takes that out. We could break out into, I don't even know if this is the all-time high or not. But it's don't see any price action up here for a long while.
Looks like market ripping on those data points that we just got here a second ago. ISM non-manufacturing PMI 54.9 versus the 51.7 estimate. Hot number there. Prices for September 59.4 versus 56.3. Another hot number there. All of these. Global services PMI for September 55.2 versus the 55.4 estimate. The prior read was 55.7, so that's a trend down. Same with the global composite PMI. Okay, so the ISM numbers looks like this is driving us higher here.
If EVGO really starts to break over 555 here, which it's trying to do, I think we're looking at a potential test of 6.
I clicked the wrong button here, dude. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
There we go. We got it fixed. We got it fixed.
All right, MLGO. Is this what
you're
about to do the thing? Did it do it? No, not yet.
Seems like EVGO would be a Pelosi stock, Tracy. Oh, that's funny.
TOVX certainly trying to turn around here. It still has not recaptured VWAP yet. And just kind of looking around here. Clove got into 4 and then came back in. EVGO 560, so new intraday high. Come on now, be nice with it. Get us 6. And then MLGO still looking to get over 42 to take us up to 48. After that, not sure where we're going to go. I'll have to look again to the left.
All-time low on Mullen, Jay?
Oh, you already got it there, Black Sky. Cool.
I'm flipping through. I'm not mid-position right now, so I'm keeping up. I'm doing all right.
Well, all right then.
All right. CETX looks like this was yikes. Yikes. Rezolve AI maybe popping, still can't get above its VWAP. Sorry, 13, go ahead.
Of course, BCAB, one of the ones we mentioned earlier, that could not get above VWAP. It is breaking down. If we're looking for a bounce, the earliest one I see is going to be at 195. After that, maybe 185. Not sure about BCAB. Don't try to catch a falling knife, folks. Just look for some levels where it could bounce. TVOX this one looking like it wants to get VWAP. Currently trying to push up to it.
All right, let me cue this up. Do we get above this? We need the tuna blessing on this one.
Well, it's got to get above 182. There's they're bringing in a lot of sellers now.
Let's see. It looks like it's finding some resistance right there
At VWAP, yeah.
Yep.
That's where a lot of big names like to hide. Do their trading.
Jonathan Cooper saying overall market feels like a sideways fade. I'll be honest, right now, like in the moment, things pumping. SPY at the highs, NASDAQ at the highs, Dow came off the lows, looking like it's trying to go green.
MLGO trying to get over 42 as we speak.
There's 42. Rezolve AI halted here at 821. IONQ on the scanner. Ooh, look at the move in IONQ. This moved with the tech market.
TOBX trading above VWAP.
Yep, sure did. Punched right above it. Let's see if it holds here, if it comes back in. Let me put TOBX up. Anyone taking a new trade here on the VWAP cross?
I'm already in this one, just waiting for it to get back up and light those wicks on fire. Have a birthday cake for us.
Ooh, I like that. One of the other things that I really like here with this TOVX move, good discipline on you. I didn't catch this at the bottom. Well done, 13. The expanding volume that we're seeing right here through that key level, textbook, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna raise my stop here now.
There we go. That's how you do it, folks.
And that 190 break is
look at Palantir. No joke. Crow, you had no joke earlier with the money with wings. Here we go. 39 coming on Palantir.
No, they're not, JJ.
Nope.
They tend to be
wicks are tricks.
Yeah, they tend to be an indication that there's a lot more weakness up at those price areas than there are at the lower ones. So you're going to end up getting a reversal or some weakness if you get a number of wicks like that, especially after a big move up. All right, so wow, ASTS, that's a great one. If you pick that up down in the 23 handle, you are doing well.
Which one?
ASTS.
ASTS. Oh, that was Jay and Carmen got to be absolutely stoked.
Truckers hit because of strike. So we could take a look at JB Hunt.
Yep, Jets JBHT. It's going to be your ticker on that. JB Hunt down 1.5% here today.
That has been down, ever since the strike started on the first. That's been down. Yeah. This continues.
Do you have any update on that or any thoughts on what might happen?
It's really, I already gave all my thoughts on that.
No, it's okay if you don't.
Yeah, for me, nothing's really changed. The administration is not going to step in probably until after the election, if they do step in at all. I don't think there's going to be any agreement between the longshoremen and the U.S. Maritime Alliance. Yeah. They're still pretty far apart. So I don't think there's anything that's changed there yet.
Mankind? What's going on with Mankind? This is a blast from the past. I don't see anything here. It's just move up almost 6% here. MNKD. Low volume on that name.
So let me see if I can try to answer this for you, R Alpha. When I do a stop and it partially fills, it'll stay at that where I have the stop until I move it or until it completely fills. I'm not sure if that's what you're looking for, but I think that's what you're asking. And if I partially fill, and it rebounds, I may be inclined to raise my stop after that. I don't know that I would keep it there. It would seem to me that if we rebound at that level and continue to go up, that would be a little bit more bullish. I'd be lifting it.
Tiger, indeed.
Lunar going? Yes, it is. Broke over 752. Looks like
Let me
it's
put
going
that
to
up here
halt.
for you, 13.
I'm not seeing much price action. Is it going to halt?
I'm seeing price
No.
action. Looks like it went right
No,
up
it
to
is,
750. Yeah, it came back. It's doing good, though. It's a nice little pop there. Volume did expand a little bit as well. 13, I'm going to blow my nose real quick. One sec.
No problem. EVgo, that looks like it's about to make a new intraday high. 560 is a current one. TOVX, still above VWAP, but it is having a time trying to get back up to that 195 area. Not sure the volume that we're getting right now is going to be enough to get us up there. Need a little bit more expansion in that. Any thoughts? Entry point on Wheeler? Your guess is as good as mine. No, I'm sorry. Let me actually take a closer look at it here. It may have actually already happened down at 1560 because it seems like that was the area it's rebounding at. But let's actually take a better look at this and see if we're going to continue with this upside movement. Now, if this continues to go up, we have VWAP in the way at 1727. So I would expect there to be a little bit of resistance on that. Currently working through some EMAs right now, having a bit of time with that. So we've got the 9, 15, and 65 that I'm using.
What ticker, 13?
This is Wheeler.
Wheeler.
And that's keeping the price from going much higher. The volume also doesn't look pretty good. So if we're going down, I would like to see, I would at least expect there to be some support down at 1466, 1465, that area. That might be a better spot to get into because I don't like the way this 5-minute chart is looking to me. I think this may end up going lower.
You and Tuna would agree. He thinks Wheeler needs to go lower before it can do anything else.
Yeah, so I would just wait for this one to shake out. It may even lose $15. So wait for this one, I would say.
TOVX pulling, by the way.
Same with Clove.
Here's your TOVX pull.
And I'm out of TOVX now.
You raised your stops.
Yeah,
that's exactly how you're supposed to do it. Clove did pull back to the VWAP here, not halted. Mark, well done.
Oh wow, nice job.
Well done, Mark. Good, profitable morning. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. Thanks for joining and supporting us. Toss us a like on the way out.
Yeah, whenever you get 6% in 45 minutes of the market being open, that's a good day. That's a good day. Duo trying to go. Oh yeah, there it goes. Finally got over
CrowdStrike, really quickly. CrowdStrike for me needs to take out this $300 recent high. I have it here at 301. Let's see, what is that actual candle? 302. Okay, so 300 to 302. This area right here really needs to be taken out for CrowdStrike to go higher. I do like higher lows on this trend here on the daily. This definitely encouraging. That will be something to monitor here for CrowdStrike. What was the stock that you were looking at, 13? Sorry.
I think it was Duo.
Duo, it was. Yes. Nope. You were correct.
And also SPY with some interesting price action. Ever since we got that manufacturing print, it has ripped, got above the previous all-time high, and interestingly, just like yesterday, could not get above 570.
And actually pulling pretty fast here too, I think.
Yeah, but if it gets the support from the previous all-time high, 568.69, then it's probably going to consolidate and try to push higher. But I'd like to see a breakdown of that level and for it to go lower, kind of like that. So I want to see it go down even further. I want to get a test of. I want to go lower than
wild.
I want to go lower than yesterday's low, because we've been on a kind of a thing where we've been making lower lows every day ever since we got that topping out action. So the low from yesterday is at 565.27. I'd like to see a print beneath that in order to keep on going with the lower low theme that's been happening. What is going on with this? That is just a massive pull.
The SPY, yeah. I'm really quickly just to clean some of the comments up here. Indo is popping here. Grats Crow on Indo. I know you had a kind of a rough day yesterday. Way to stick with it and get it back here today. That's some strength, boss. Also, you guys had mentioned EONR, which was a mover from yesterday. This gearing now above the consolidation area from yesterday. But let's go back to SPY here because that's the bigger thing. Looks like it's bouncing now. It's just volatile. Look at this.
How many shares are traded here?
On the
7
last
million.
move, yeah, on the last move down, I have 725,000. You're saying on the day? Gotcha.
On the day, there's only- Yeah, that seems a little light.
It does seem a little light. I agree with you.
MLGO,
Tiger new highs. Oh my gosh, Tiger.
MLGO tapped 42 cents, came back in a little bit, but not breaking down.
Steve, let's go. Locked in almost 40% profit on that move. Steve, dude, awesome job, man. Awesome job.
Awesome last name too. You're levitaning your account there.
Levitaning. Let's go. Whitney, watching the 10 a.m. PMI. Let's go. That's what drove that. Tiger, you guys got your eyes on Tiger. EVgo.
All right, if you're short anything, just be aware Crow's gonna bring the heat.
Crow, I am short Nike. I opened up a Nike short yesterday. So if you're gonna blow me out in Nike, let's get to it.
Get him, Crow.
Get him, Crow. Get me. Stay focused. Good morning, man. Hopefully you're doing well here this morning. Stairs up, elevator down. Indeed.
I don't know.
Indeed.
Just seems like something like the SPY jumped out a window.
Peace, bro.
Yeah, just see ya. No parachute. All right. Just kind of curious to see if MLGO ends up breaking that 42. It has been getting stiff resistance there over the past 20 minutes. You know, if you were trading that one, maybe just raise your stop if that's your game plan, because I don't know if it's going to be able to get above 42 cents on this volume. That's just the target we have, getting above 42, going to 48. That would be a good move for me in MLGO. I don't know what the plan is for y'all though.
Jay Rice, didn't you mention Wolf at the open here? Nice little move up, 30 cents, not huge, but a nice little move up there. Lamb Research. Looks like that went red green. Okay. Excuse me. My goodness. API. That's a nice little dip and rip. Tuna, you were on this one, weren't you? Look around and see what else is moving here.
Sorry, I'm just taking a look at some notes.
All good. Spiro Bill, Ryan, what level is your stop loss price on your Nike short? That's going to be probably about 85. I'm generally really tight with the stops on shorts because shorting is not a huge part of my trading thesis. And I don't do it very often. So I would say, I think 85. Let me put it on a chart here. I don't know why all of a sudden, there we go. Let's go to the daily here. And this right here. All right. So you can see this gap that we're in right here. We punch into that gap and trade up towards the fill, which fills at 88. Right in here is where I would stop. I'm actually looking for this to roll over, take out the 50, and then move towards this 75. In a perfect world, we'd actually get 70. But I won't be greedy.
Duo is approaching 398. That's the level, pre-market level I was looking for the price to get up to and try to break out of and fill the gap between after hours and pre-market. That would take us up to 4. There's a big amount of sell orders between, basically 397 and 4 that it's got to chew through. So if we get enough volume expansion, we're going through that and probably back up to the after hours channel here.
Oh, Jay, Biden's talking about hitting Iran. That is affecting oil. Let's take a look at USO here. You're mentioning that the oil futures popped on those comments. Indeed, here comes USO. Now, I don't have Squawk on. So pro tip here using Benzinga Pro. this is absolutely something that would have been squawk. Comments out of the White House or anyone connected to the White House, especially as it pertains to something like this. This would have definitely been squawk. And Jay's bringing up a really good relationship here. When you start talking about some of these conflicts extending into some of these oil countries or actually hitting oil facilities, whether they're production, refining, whatever, you're often going to see moves like this. This right here could be a scalp. Jay, I appreciate you mentioning this. I didn't have this on my screen. I do see the oils popping here, and I didn't have squawk on, but this would have been a nice little squawk scalp if you were ready for this. Good stuff here, Jay. And that's why Indo is going. Tracy, yep, may be good. I think that definitely is. Austin is correct. This is a must-have. You got it, boss.
Ooh, didn't notice that MLGO was getting hammered after it hit 42. This is why I was mentioning that it might be a good idea to raise those stops, because it was looking weak.
I'll tell you what, 13, if nothing else, one of the things that you've really shown just today, I mean, you do it every day, but today specifically has been the risk management. TOVX, you raised stops on that to be sure to book gains right before the thing rolled over. Excellent job. Sounds like you did the same thing here on MLGO. Those are the types of practices that can really help people.
I wasn't in MLGO, but
oh, sorry.
No,
you're just watching it. Gotcha.
I was just watching it and kind of making, the play-by-play call. Because it was interesting. It looked like it could have, trying to take out that 42 cent, not getting it right now. Maybe it gets it later on in the day. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But raising those stops when it was looking weak, that was the way to go.
Looking around here. The most positions that I've had in a long time.
Not quite seeing a lot. That's
21 positions open right now. Wow.
Maybe EVgo. Nothing's really getting that expanding volume,
No. And you know what? You had commented earlier on how low the SPY volume was. I know that might not affect some of these little puny stocks here, but we're kind of seeing that across the board here.
It could just be like broad lack of participation in a lot of these things.
Oh, man, this fresh fall air is some chilly shit. Let me go blow my nose again.
Ask and you shall receive. We know he's been wanting the fall to be here, and it's here. Can't blame him. I love the fall. All 2 days of it we get out here. XOM flirting with all-time high. Oh. Oil's rocketing. That's not too good for me wanting to get into Chevron. I was hoping for a better price point than where it's at. Gosh. Yeah, I was looking for under 130. Don't know if I'm going to get that anymore. This has definitely got a inverse head and shoulders happening here on the daily chart. That means 160 could be on the table. This looks like SPY is ready to keep pulling. Let's go. Keep on pulling, SPY. So let's get a correction, and so we can rip higher later on. EONR. I'm going to take a look at that, see what that's doing. That's what that's doing right now. A little bit of a pull there in EONR after hitting 207. We just looking for it to hold 185. It seems like at the moment that's where the support is. We also have VWAP beneath it, at least I do, at 179. Alex, it's not really pain. It's just that it's just something I'm not going to be able to get into and take advantage of, because I do feel like it's going to be a really good play down the line. But I do have exposure in the XLE, and other midstream, so I do have some exposure to energy. That's doing really well for me right now. But man, if I could get into CVX when I wanted, that would have been great. Maybe I should have held longer, but I sold it a couple of years ago because it had just absolutely ripped from 60. It was like a 100% runner for me at one point. So
you got book gains on 100% runners.
You kind of got it, man.
You kind of got to. I'm with you there.
So,
13.
but I
was
really
saying about your risk management earlier.
I really would like to get back into Chevron, though. I think they're going to do amazing things in the future.
I came back and refreshed myself with the comments. Tom Herbert, I gotta say, man, that is the funniest thing that I've read here today. Well done. You got a really good laugh out of me for that. Crow in RLZV. RZLV. Did I screw that up? Let's see. RZLV. I did. RZLV here. Look at this pop through VWAP. Wow, on volume too. Sorry, 13.
No, I was trying to run you over this time. Learn with Moses. Yeah. Yes, EVGOW is a warrant. It is exercisable for one share of Class A common stock at an exercise price of $11.50.
Here. My office assistant has done this new thing where he starts screaming like he's being abused. And I'm like terrified that one of my neighbors is going to hear it and report me. Where did you go? Now he left.
It's like he knows.
He's trying to get out. Hang on a sec.
All right. Where are we looking at here with some of these? Looks like it seems like a lot of stuff. Just almost everything is just coming in. Does anybody have any eyes on something that's ripping right now?
Oh. Looks like Nike might take a fresh move to the downside here.
Well, all right.
I don't know if that's gonna meet your criteria for ripping right now, though.
I'm kind of curious to see if Clove is going to get this VWAP support or not. It does have a nice formation here, but the MACD is telling me be careful. This could start to roll over. But we get some more volume in Clove. I think we try forward again.
Clove actually looks like it's trying to bounce off that VWAP there.
Mm-hmm. It certainly does. Just keep in mind, I think the volume needs to be the other component here to take it higher. Because if we don't get that buying volume, I think it's going to go lower.
By the way, the market is like cannot figure out what it wants to do. Look at the SPY. This is more chopped than a Benihana.
Yeah.
How did Christian Fromhertz know that oil was the play this AM? Good question, Jay. He's a bright guy, though. He's a bright guy. One of the best guests and best friends of Benzinga, by the way. Christian Fromhertz. Go follow him on Twitter if you don't already.
All right, Duo. At least there's one that's giving us some good moves. We're starting to fill that pre-market after-hours gap. At the very least, we could get 410. The most, we could get 425. See, there's a big order in the way. A bunch of shares to be sold at 420.
Real quickly here, not to digress too much, 13, but I'm seeing on CNBC, I can't hear it. I'm seeing on CNBC, OpenAI announces $4 billion revolving credit line brings total liquidity to more than $10 billion. They're interviewing, I think, the CEO. I don't recognize who that is. I wonder what that's doing to them. What's NVIDIA doing now that we've kind of turned around here? Qs have really turned around too. Is NVIDIA?
You check that out.
But it's still good.
I'll look at Mira. Tom wants to know what's going on with Mira.
Okay.
Says it's been at what? Been less than $2 for months.
Whoever's in Tiger, this is crazy. I would definitely be paying yourself on the way up here. Well done in Tiger. RZLV kept moving up here too. Oh.
Okay. For Mira, mark your calendar for October 28th to 29th. They are going to be presenting their preclinical data at the annual Pain Therapeutics Summit in Boston. That likely may be a catalyst that moves this. Now, we look at the float, 10 million point 10.7 million shares. That's not too hard to move around. It's not the 1 million or less float that we'd like to see, but don't think it should have a problem moving around. With the financials, looks like at some point they'll have to raise cash. They have about just under 3 in the bank, but they're losing 1.6, 1.7 a quarter. So there's at least one more quarter of cash runway, and then they'll have to raise money. But I would just I would kind of look at it that way. Just see what the mark your calendar for that later date in October 20th, 29th. That's likely going to be the catalyst that gets this thing moving again. I don't even know what the shortest interest is. Nothing really to write home about. That's kind of where I would be with this one. I don't know anything other than that. I'm not sure how far along in their clinical trials they are. It looks like preclinical trial is where they're at with this particular drug they're going to be talking about, or maybe not. Maybe there's a phase 1. No, that's design completion. I think they're preclinical. So that would be my assessment on that. Watch for that presentation later this month.
I'm checking out FinTwit here and see if I can find us anything.
Oh, you're doing some scans there?
Well, I don't know if I'm doing scans so much as I'm just kind of surveying the scene.
Gotcha.
I guess you could say I'm scanning X. Yes, I suppose you could say that.
Oh gosh, yes, please give it to us. Here we go. Okay, so I'm still looking for that new lower low, and SPY's starting to get close to the pre-market low here. That would be 566.11. Getting support from that previous all-time high at 566.58. I want to see a breakdown to that level, and I want to see actually an actual solid test of 565.16, that other previous all-time high that we held for a number of weeks before breaking it. Give me my wish, SPY. TSLA couldn't hold gains. Crow is saying VRCA.
Okay. Didn't find anything on the X streets. So our chat's way better. That's pretty much what I just confirmed.
Oh, good mention on VRCA. This thing looks like it's trying to push up into that
150 area.
150 area again. Yep, exactly. Yep.
Hey, 13, we had a news print yesterday that the port strike might actually affect some of the compounds for the weight loss drugs.
Yes.
Sent that to you last night. So what do you think about that in terms of a trade here? If we have more day trades, please interrupt me. But I'm just thinking, you think there might be a trade down here on any of those?
I would think LLY.
Yeah.
Any of the ones that have a drug already out there that's being used, bought and paid for, if that revenue, that income, gets affected by the strike, yeah, I think that the LLY and some other ones that have drugs out there, they're going to come in.
Yeah. Lily here, one of those first targets. I mean, I'm thinking 860, maybe even 850 possible. That's not even all that far away from where we're at here.
Dr. Redman, I'll have to click my heels too.
Isn't that a Beetlejuice? I guess it is Wizard of Oz too. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that was the first Beetlejuice.
So Jason mentioning Lily and NVO here. Actually, NVO looking like this is already kind of starting here. Jason, what do you think about that? Would you play any of these for a downside move? I think we might have to bring this up in happy hour too and discuss this in happy hour, because we've talked a lot about the GLPs on the way up. Might as well see if this is mention this as a catalyst for a potential move down here.
Well, one thing that I'm just seeing here on the news from today is that Eli Lilly's weight loss drug no longer in shortage, which is interesting given that the strike just started. So I wonder how long that's going to last. Also, HIMS might be another one to look at too. That one's down 14%. And it's on the news that Eli Lilly announced their shortage has ended. So I don't really know that we're getting any effect from the strike yet. Maybe that just hasn't kind of hit the newsfeed for some of these retail traders that are trading this. I'm not sure.
By the way, real quick trade idea. I know we bring Matt Malley on quite often. He has really been killing it recently. I covered some of his really good trades last week. Seeing an alert here, adding to SQQQ Oct 11 850 calls. Things are just too dangerous around the world right now. So if you want to get all of Matt Malley's calls and stay up on all of them, I highly recommend that you talk to James or Rodrigo and get involved there. But I'll drop you some nuggets here. Looks like Matt Malley adding to SQQQ here today.
And if my eyes could do this, Jay Rice, I would have seen your comment. So, but thank you. Yes, and VKTX still up. That's interesting too, because I think that isn't they at a different drug? Not necessarily a semaglutide, but do they have a different one?
Isn't their thing the oral pill VKTX? I'm pretty sure that's their angle. Really quickly, while you looked at Jason here regarding our discussion here, I'm keeping an eye on both of those pharma companies, wondering how those drug companies will be affected by the strike. Ozempic, those big weight loss meds are getting a lot of attention. That's what I'm thinking. I wonder if there's going to be a downside trade. Some of these are pretty extended.
I don't necessarily think that one of those is VKTX, so let me double check. Yeah, it's not extended. Not extended.
No, Big B's, good question here. We bring him on all the time. Matt Malley has his own services on the research side. Benzinga Pro, more of a research tool designed for the active trader or people that are trying to find their own applications. Matt Malley's research is more of like a trade alert.
Yeah, I think that VKTX catalyst that we get in the first weekend in November, that might be a sell the news event, or it could run.
API, this was a good call from earlier here. This really kind of breaking out above 5 here. API looking pretty good. Humana, where are we at on that? There were a couple of chat members playing this for a bounce yesterday. It's the 40-point bounce off those lows. Wow. Looks like it might be rolling back over here though.
And there are going to still be pharmaceuticals coming in through the West Coast ports. We do get a lot of pharmaceuticals from over on the Pacific side, Japan, different parts of Asia.
I got clickbaited just now.
Uh-oh.
Yep. I'm gonna do it so you guys don't have to here. I got clickbaited into clicking on a news article. It says, I'm a sleep expert. This is the exact time of night you should go to bed for optimal rest. Anyone want to take guesses on what they say?
Nope. I'll probably be wrong.
Okay.
Do I have a float for MYNA? Well, you're running that poll. I'll take a look at MYNA.
Running that poll. Yeah, very scientific poll here.
All right, so that has 24.2 million shares in the float.
Jay saying, what if you work nights? The article doesn't cover that, Jay. Way to stump us all. Chicago says 10 p.m. Wiss 9 p.m. Alex 9. I just mixed up your names because I clicked the stupid thing. Wiss and Alex saying 9 p.m. The average American goes to sleep at 11:39 p.m. and aiming to get to sleep by 10 p.m. is the answer. So Chicago Realtor, you are correct. I got clickbaited into that, and now all of you folks got clickbaited into that by me. Take that.
Wheeler managed to get some support down at was this 1480, 1479. Volume's crap right now, but it's not going lower, so that's an encouraging sign. And it actually managed to recapture 15. I don't want to say that this is starting to reverse, but at least we got that support and a slight reversal, but don't know if it's going to continue to hold up here or not. May end up going lower. Yeah, just sleep at work.
By the way, folks, we do have, let me see, check this real quick. Real quick, we do have an all access coming up at 10:45. So 6 minutes, we're going to be going all access. You guys are going to be able to see Zunaid in his fresh haircut. What was
asked about
Target? I just ran you over there.
No, you were getting asked about Target for a swing trade.
Target's not a stock that I would trade, but let's give him some levels. I'm going to actually go to my bigger chart here.
I'd like to see support at 147.
147 is that 500-day. That also looks like that's the bottom.
You got me.
What?
Yes, it is a 500-day.
Yeah, I actually think it might fill this gap. So let's call this 145 maybe. If this continues to move down here, maybe 145 before it could bounce. The trend looks like this is kind of down. I would imagine that a softening consumer would hurt this stock. I still think Walmart is probably viewed as cheaper.
What? You're talking about the gap from 140 to 137? Is that the gap you're talking about?
No. Am I blind?
I don't see any other gaps to the downside. You have that 1 day on
right here. Sorry, this level right here from the August 20th candle. I understand we already kind of filled that on this candle that wicked on September 11th. I think that we do probably retest that area.
Okay, we'll call it 145.
Holy smokes, Michael! I sleep from 5 to 7 and then from 5 to 8. You have 5 hours of sleep a night? That is wild.
Whatever works.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to look if something works for you. I'm not going to criticize it, but that's just that to me. That is completely foreign.
All right, everybody, look at EVgo. Robert sold, so there's your. I'm just kidding, man. That was funny. EVgo, what do we got here? It's breaking into 566.
Buzz Lightyear, this is something that we've been talking about recently. You're seeing lines at Costco and some places are reporting that there's no water and toilet paper. I mean, for heaven's sakes, folks, haven't we learned our lesson? Is this an East Coast issue? I don't know. I actually haven't been to Costco since Saturday. I will say when I went on Saturday, everything was stocked.
I'd say it's more of an East Coast issue than not, and that's because we just also had that hurricane that's really devastated parts of the eastern states, and wow, EVgo is starting to go here. But the I think that aside from those particular regions, if you're seeing panic buying in like the Western states, I think that's overdone. There's the Western states I don't think have a whole lot to worry about. And we've seen before how people buy, tons of this stuff and they buy more than they need. Bidet is your friend.
Is Smoke Tuna still around or did he bounce without saying goodbye? Because his call on EVgo really having the juice for today, that was before the market even opened. This thing has done nothing but trade higher. That was a monster good call. Lynn, you were saying that Costco's already starting to get runs on paper towel and toilet paper. Man, oh man. They tend to panic about everything. Yeah.
Well, I gotta go shopping today or tomorrow, so I'll let you know how that looks when I go.
Yeah,
there.
Definitely. I'm curious to know what the stores look like when you do go shopping, 13.
Oh wow, here we go. There's the Z-Man.
Hello. Well, you said here you go, like I was a hurricane that was causing the problems. Like, here we go. Here's trouble. What's going on, fellas? How are you?
We're doing all right. How are you?
Yeah.
I'm doing great, man. We've got a lot of great content coming up. There's an exciting company that we're going to talk to here in just a minute. So we're going to talk to Dan Wagner, who is a chairman and CEO of Rezolve AI. Ticker on the NASDAQ, by the way, is RZLV. They had some exciting news come out this morning, so it's always good to kind of talk to the executives about what's going on, how it can impact the company in the future. So good stuff there. And then afterwards, we're going to have our second startup showcase. The first one was such a hit. Our chat loved it. We got such great engagement with the poll. We gave away, $2,500 to startups. So we're going to run it back with a couple of different companies. Trigenics is one of them. Mode Mobile is the second one. And you've also got Boxable, who we've interviewed a couple of times. That's going to be part of the pitch competition as well. So some exciting stuff happening for the next 90 minutes or so.
Okay, awesome. Should we get out of your hair? You want us to get it rolling right now?
Yeah, I don't want to be mean about it, but yeah. And you can give your final thoughts if you want.
I don't want to be mean about it, but get the hell out of here. Yeah, sure, that sounds about right.
Well, I always give you guys final thoughts, though. So before you go, we'll start with 13 and Ryan. 13, any final thoughts from you, pal?
Not really. You guys seem to have a pretty good day. Don't be afraid to take those gains. The market's looking pretty tired, so just maybe do something else. I'm not sure I'm going to be trading a whole lot today. I don't like the way the market looks, but just take care of yourselves, folks. I'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds good. 13. Really quickly, what I'm watching for, Zunaid, here, do we get our second close under this SPY trend line? Sure looks to me like the SPY wants to trade back down towards this 553 level. So that's kind of what I'm going to be watching here for the rest of the day. Also going to be watching my Nike as we're short 83.21.
Awesome. Cool. Hey, if you don't mind, stick around after All Access. I might need you for like a minute buffer before I go to the other stream. So
I'll be right here in the back to help you out, boss.
You got appreciate you. All right, chat. Like I said, there's some exciting things happening in the markets. And, there are a lot of companies where they will use the word AI as a buzzword because that's the hottest thing in town, but not this next company. They talk about what they're going to do in this space, and they've started to deliver on it as they have been for quite some time. They're continuing to do it as well. Let me go ahead and bring on my man, Dan Wagner, who is a chairman and CEO of Rezolve AI. Ticker on the NASDAQ is RZLV. All Access starts right now. Dan, good morning. Welcome back to the show.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm sure you're doing even better, and I'm excited to kind of talk about that and dive into the fresh news that you had come out this morning. But for the folks at home that might not be familiar with your company, tell us what it is that you do.
So we built a set of products that are AI-driven that help to improve the experience on e-commerce sites and digital platforms. So, for example, Gen AI, instead of filtering and searching, you can just ask a question as if you're speaking to the best salesman on the planet. A very fast checkout and a very high level of customer service and support, all generated using technology, all saving time and efficiency for the retailer, improving the checkout experience, but more importantly, allowing consumers to engage with digital platforms like they might do with the best salesman on the planet. When you walk into a Best Buy or a Target or whatever, and you hope to speak to somebody who's real knowledgeable about what they're talking about and real knowledgeable about the products and gives you great advice and great guidance and then brings you to the close, and that's kind of how we've trained our proprietary Gen AI platforms. Now, I think there's two things I just said there that are kind of important. We own proprietary Gen AI language models, foundational models. That's not something that's broad-based. And a lot of AI companies are using other Gen AI platforms like OpenAI, which is owned largely by Microsoft and others. And what we've done is we built our own over the last sort of 8 years, focused on this purpose, this product set to deliver improvements in digital engagement, digital commerce. And today we announced that Microsoft and Rezolve AI have partnered to sell these solutions to all of the Microsoft customers around the world. And I think it says a little bit more than just this is a great distribution partnership. It also says that Microsoft recognized that what we've created is distinct, unique, impressive, capable, and has tremendous potential. So we're real pleased about that.
Yeah, and you mentioned the checkout aspect of it, and I was just thinking, and I know this because sometimes I lose, whether I lose my wallet or forget my wallet, whatever. But I think 90% of my transactions, whenever I'm either filling up gas, checking out a grocery, whatever the case may be, unless it's a restaurant, I'm using my phone to pay for things, So it's like we're moving into new technologies being used throughout the checkout process, including the checkout process itself as well. And Microsoft has been investing for quite some time now into AI. So it's awesome to see this partnership come through as well. Tell me a little bit more about what this kind of does for Rezolve AI in terms of the future and the bottom line, and like what folks can expect to kind of have the domino effect of this awesome partnership that you've had.
Well, look, this is a multi-$100 million deal. Okay, this is not a small engagement. We are working with Microsoft globally to reach out to Azure customers, cloud-based customers, but also to introduce new customers to Rezolve's products, supported by Microsoft's incredible infrastructure. And we're looking to transform retail. We're looking to sort of level up commerce and retail. And I think that we have the potential to dominate this market space. And I think Microsoft recognized that, and that's why they have partnered with us.
And I know you have a few other partnerships as well, especially with, you have Creative Doc, SPHAG, and a few others. Tell us about those partnerships.
Yeah, look, I mean, we see that, we're a small company with fantastic tech, okay, that we've been building over time, and, relatively small company, I'll put it that way. We are very ambitious. We expect that we will become market leader. We think we have market leading technologies in a unique vertical. And so in order to be the dominant player over the next, few years, we need to very quickly reach merchants and partners around the world. So, partners like Creative Doc in Poland, partners like SPH in Germany, these are all important. Partners like Grupo Carso in Latin America, which is a bigger partner, Fiserv, and of course Microsoft, which is the biggest, give us this fantastic reach, give us this ability to get our products in front of customers. And people like Microsoft have kicked the tires, right? They've checked us out. They've identified that what we have is worthwhile, and you can hear that. There's a video circulating today of Nick Parker at Microsoft talking about the partnership and how excited they are. In the same way that we are, and we recognize that together we have the potential to win. So we're excited about it. And I think we're also excited about the fact that Microsoft, having committed to OpenAI, the other AI company at the moment anyway, that they have this kind of commitment to. So I think that says a lot too.
And that's what I was going to say, was like, we've seen the, fruits of their labor, of their investment, if you will, in OpenAI as well. I think OpenAI just had a round that closed with a valuation of approximately 157 billion or so. So like things have worked out very well for Microsoft in that aspect of it. They know what they're doing in this space. And that's why it's an additional vouch. It's not just some money giving you company. It's Microsoft that has invested in the space, knows what's going on, and you're kind of getting that.
They've invested in us, right? And I think this is the key thing, is that the potential. We're undervalued, we believe, at this point. We think that we have the potential to really scale up as an organization, and the next months, and certainly over the next 18 months, you're going to see some real momentum in the business. Driven by these partnerships, driven by other new opportunities that will expose themselves over time. But this is just the beginning of a journey that we're on to dominate a very exciting space.
I want to talk about what's in the pipeline here in a moment, but I also am interested in learning about the three brains, right? And so how do the three brains kind of function, and especially why separate them into three different products as well?
Well, the three brains, let's call them brain, they're sitting on the Gen AI platform that we developed called Brain Power. And brain commerce is all about conversational commerce with the salesperson. Brain Assistant is all about conversational commerce with the customer service person. And Brain Checkout is a payments and wallet kind of fast checkout. Think of it as kind of a Stripe proposition, but it has a whole lot of really cool ways to engage. For example, you could be watching television or listening to the radio, and your phone will wake up listening to an AI-generated watermark that's embedded in the audio, and that wakes up your phone. And maybe you're watching a TV commercial for a car, and it says, "Do you want a test drive?" and you just tap tap. So it's got audio triggers, image triggers, location triggers, as well as on the web and mobile phones and social media. So when you take the three together, we see the engagement starting maybe with a trigger through social media, which would be brain checkout, landing on a site for interrogating and understanding what the product is that you're about to buy or that you're thinking of buying, and getting proper intelligent answers to that in any one of 95 languages. And then you move to, closing the transaction. Again, that's brain checkout. And then finally, if there's a problem or if there's a return or there's something that you want to check on your order, you would use brain assistant. So the suite sits on top of any existing e-commerce stack or digital engagement stack, and plugs in to any one of 30 something platforms that we've built very quick integrations into, 260 merchant acquirers, which are the payment systems. So we've made it real easy for retailers to deploy it, which means that we can very quickly monetize and grow the business with our partners. So all of these things are very attractive because Gen AI is a sinkhole of cash for a lot of companies to say, we just need cash to train our engines, to do this, to do that. They're not talking about revenue yet, right? We're in the revenue generating piece now. We're all about driving revenue, driving market, take up, and that's, I think, also attractive to our partners because everybody wants to do something with AI, but they don't want to just invest. They want to start generating revenue. That's what we're doing.
There's a lot of processes that happen before you actually go to checkout, and so it's good to see the three brains being a part of those processes till the actual checkout phase of its project itself. We've talked a lot about your partnerships with Microsoft and other companies here as well. Is there anything else that I missed to talk about that you wanted our folks to know what's going on with the company, especially maybe on what to look ahead?
Well, I think that we're a company to watch in the space. If people are interested in AI, then they should pay attention to what we're doing. We have our proprietary tech as a first starting point, which isn't the case with most listed AI companies. We are, so we're right at the foundation of this. We have a very clear vertical market focus. We're focused on commerce and retail. We're not being distracted with all the other things that we could be distracted with, not for now anyway. And we want to, dominate in that market space. And so, that's enough for us today, I think.
Well, I mean, hey, you've got a lot going on, I'm sure. And again, congratulations on such a big partnership, and not just, a few $1 million, it's hundreds of millions. So that's awesome to see. And I look forward to having more of these conversations as you reach these milestones and see the domino effect of these great partnerships and what it does to your bottom line and the business as well.
Thanks, Zunaid. It'll be a pleasure.
Absolutely. You got it. That is Dan Wagner, who is a chairman and CEO of Rezolve AI. Ticker again on the NASDAQ is RZLV. Thank you for watching All Access. Ryan, we're going to tap you right back in.
Sweet. What are we doing?
It was awesome to kind of, we've talked so many times about this AI space, and it's like, NVIDIA's kind of already flying out. What are we doing there? We've already missed a trade. And what are some other companies that we can possibly, invest in that can see more upside? That isn't just an NVIDIA, the AMDs of the world. And I think this partnership that Microsoft now has with Rezolve, it's cool. It's great to see because, like I said, the technology and the advancements of it is just incredible in this AI space. Like I think the only time I pull out my credit card is when I'm at a restaurant. Everything else, I think I use my Apple Pay.
Okay. That's interesting. I haven't really got into that NFC payment. I'm a boomer, so I still use the plastic. I will say you're spot on with the whole AI premise. And one of the other things that we're likely going to see here, Zunaid, is there's a whole bunch of other IPOs kind of waiting in the wings that are going to revolve around AI, And I think that what this is going to do is actually be a boon for everything, because I think you're going to have concentrated money pull out of some of the big AI names, let's call it NVIDIA, for example, and then kind of distribute to some of these other AI names. Cerebras, I know, is one that's coming here. They actually just filed their paperwork probably 3 to 6 weeks before that comes. I don't have any indication on Databricks, but I know that that's coming. And I also suspect that the market is trying to get these AI names out there first. So you're right. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity here. It's great to cover some of these little partnerships. Really, really good stuff. I think we're in the infancy of this.
Yep, sure are. And I need you to real quick, if you could talk about maybe some tickers you're looking at for like 2 minutes. I've got to hop over to the other stream and chat. You guys love the startup showcase that we did the first time. There's a viewer component to this, to where you, the chat, we have a poll towards the end of the show where you get to decide which startup gets a $1,250 and the judges decide who gets the other $1,250. So we'd love your support. We'd love for you to hang out. We've got some cool companies in Trigenics, Mode Mobile, and Boxable as well. So if you're interested in investing and just checking out different types of companies outside of the public markets, this is it. Ryan, give me about a minute. Aaron will ping you. I'll see you on the other side, folks.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Zunaid. What we'll do here while Zunaid is wrapping up his obligations. Gosh, why is that difficult for me? We'll take a look at some stocks here for a minute until Aaron pings me. Aaron, please ping me so that I know. By the way, Rezolve AI, which you folks were looking at earlier, this traded above its VWAP and it has now been consolidating above its VWAP. This is an opportune stock or a high percentage stock to keep on your watch list for this afternoon. So there you go. Folks, we're going to send you over to the webinar. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Thursday, and week 5 of the NFL starts tonight.